Do you want to change you and your child's mindset from one of dependence to independence? Well, I'm going to tell you how in 4 steps. Hi, I'm Tiffany from the Montessori Place. Today I want to talk to you about how you can change you and your child's mindset from one of dependence to independence. I want to tell you a little story. When I was young and growing up, I was my father's princess. He showed his love by taking care of me and doing things for me. And although I greatly appreciated it at the time, I came to realize that this was not very helpful when I reached adulthood. When my husband and I married, we moved to Japan, and I was left alone to set up a house in a foreign country. And I had no idea what to do or where to start. And my husband said, "Well, you need to figure it out." And boy, was that an eye-awakening moment for me, trying to figure it out. And I realized then that I wanted something different for my own children. I wanted to raise them to be able to problem solve and figure things out. In today's society, mistakes are often seen as a bad thing. In the traditional school setting, you have a lot of tests and worksheets with a focus of an end product being the goal. Well, when us teachers speak of this sort of thing, we like to use the term fixed mindset and growth mindset. A fixed mindset is one that says, I don't have it in me to figure that out. I don't have those traits. I wasn't born with that ability. But a growth mindset says, a challenge. I can figure that out. I'm going to figure that out. And as a Montessori teacher, I always explain to my students that mistakes are good. It is an opportunity for us to learn, and the best learning occurs through mistakes. So let's talk about the ways that you can change your mindset and your child's mindset. Step 1, stop doing everything for your child. You can scaffold your child and provide a little bit of assistance, but they need to do things on their own. If you have a young child that is learning to put on her socks, perhaps you help bunch up the sock, and then you talk your child through her putting the sock on her toes and then pulling it up to her ankle and onto her calf. You're assisting, but your child is doing it on her own. And your child can have these skills when you break these skills down into little mini lessons so that they can be independent. The second way you can help your child is by praising the effort and not the child. Instead of saying, "Oh, you're such a good girl." No. "Look, you did that all by yourself." Yes, praise the effort to encourage your child to continue to try challenging tasks. 3, always have that mindset of seeking answers. When your child is asking questions, you can say, "I don't know the answer to that, but we can go figure out." As a parent and as a teacher, I always tried to have a lot of resources available to my children so that when they asked questions, I said, "Well, let's look it up." We went to the library frequently. I also would bookmark some web pages that I had looked at ahead of time, or sometimes I even printed out some web pages that I had checked myself and had verified that they were safe for the children to read. The 4th step that you can do with assisting you and your child with the growth mindset is, let's try and figure it out, and encourage your child to experiment And if they fail the first time, which they will, in many tasks you will fail many times again and again, encourage your child to notice mistakes, learn from the mistakes, and try again. You sometimes hear the phrase fail stands for first attempt in learning. Well, that's what mistakes are, and mistakes are good. You can talk to your child until you're blue in the face explaining a concept or why they can't do that. But until they try on their own, then the lesson really isn't learned. This is one of the things that drew me away from the traditional school setting and to a Montessori classroom, or a Montessori school is set up for the child to be able to touch and handle everything. That learning is hands-on, that learning is project-based. So you focus on the process in what you're learning and not so much the product. In the Montessori classroom, the children are working with real life materials, not plastic, but glass. And should something fall and break, and they do, the children learn real life consequences of what happens when you're not careful. And they also have learned how to clean up the mess. And a big deal isn't made when something's broken, because the lesson is learned in the action, and the child solves the problem by cleaning up the mess and learning how to be more careful the next time. I hope you've gathered some helpful tips today, and you check in again next week. If you are finding my tips helpful, please subscribe to my channel. In the meantime, follow me on Facebook at The Montessori Place.